Hey guys, today's video is going to be a little different, not makeup related, but today I'm actually going to be talking about my pregnancy so far. If you guys haven't noticed, yes, I am pregnant. I actually posted the announcement video probably 2 or 3 weeks ago. If you haven't seen that, you can check out the link below and I'll post that. So yeah, it's kind of weird talking about it just because I feel like, you know, all of a sudden the baby's gonna disappear, or I'm not gonna be pregnant, or, you know, something's gonna happen. Like I feel like I've been having a hard time just kind of getting attached just because of my fear of something happening. So a little bit of backstory, I actually stopped my birth control pills back in March of last year, and that was around the end of March. So my husband and I kind of had the attitude of, if it happens, it happens. And we kind of felt that way for a month or two until I believe it was probably May that we started thinking like, hey, let's start actively trying. So we started actively trying, and I was tracking my fertile days, tracking when my period was coming, tracking when I was supposed to be ovulating using ovulation predictor kits. Things like that. So I was really just trying to track and be really proactive about knowing when I was most fertile. Actually, when we were on vacation back in July, I believe it was the end of July, I actually had spotting a little bit, and the spotting kind of occurred about 5 or 6 days before my period, which is really unnormal. I don't usually have spotting. And so my husband and I kind of had a feeling that it might be pregnancy, you know, the implantation bleeding, but we waited until we got back home to take a pregnancy test, and it was positive. We were really excited. It was our first, you know, this was only after a few months of us trying. Like, we were super excited. We hadn't told anybody yet, but we were just keeping it down low. After about 2 or 3 weeks of us knowing, I started bleeding lightly. And it looked kind of like old blood is what the doctors called it. And so she said she wasn't too worried since it looked kind of like old blood. If I wasn't filling up a whole pad and I wasn't in pain, then it was okay. And so the bleeding continued for probably 2 to 3 weeks. And between that time, they tested my Hcg, and it was pretty low starting out, which is normal, but it's more so the doubling time that they're concerned about, how much it doubles over 24 to 48 hours. So my Hcg only rose, I believe it started out at 153 or so, and it only went up to about 220. So they kind of thought that it was a miscarriage. You know, it was just early stages of miscarriage. I should experience the bleeding a little bit more, and then it should end. My Hcg did go down a little bit, but it actually shot back up. And I think that's what they call stalling, which is normally known with an ectopic. So my doctor actually called me, I know it was a Friday morning, she called me and she said, your Hcg has gone back up, we need you to come into the hospital. And so I had to go to the hospital on a Friday morning with my husband and get a shot of methotrexate, which basically stops the growth of the cells wherever the egg was. We don't really know where the egg had implanted. You know, I did have the implantation bleeding and everything, but the methotrexate stopped the growth of the baby, and just pretty much had, from the time I first started bleeding all the way to the end of when I stopped bleeding, it was 5 weeks total, and that was all because of the ectopic. The doctor told me that I couldn't start trying again until another normal cycle, had one cycle, and ended up pregnant again. I am blessed to say everything has been totally normal with this pregnancy. I've been a little worried just because I haven't had any symptoms. I actually had more symptoms during the 2-week wait than actually having them now in the first trimester. During the 2-week wait, when I was waiting to get my period, I was having kind of like cramps. My chest was getting sore, but it was really mainly under the arm area. It wasn't the whole chest itself, just kind of under like right here. And it was sore to the point it kind of felt almost like I worked out or did push-ups or something, and I didn't stretch afterwards. It was just super, almost like a muscle ache. But other than that, those were the 2 main symptoms that I had that kind of pointed me to being pregnant, but I didn't want to get my hopes up. So I ended up taking a test pretty early on. It was about 5 or 6 days before my period, and it was positive. I remember calling the doctor to set up my first appointment, and she asked me when my last cycle was, and I told her, and she said, "So you actually haven't missed your period yet?" And I'm like, "No, but I had a positive test." So between that week period, I was scared something was going to happen, so I actually ended up taking more tests along the way. I got my Hcg tested this time. It was doubling just like it should. It went up from like 2 something to 450 or something like that, so it was doubling how it should. They weren't worried. Everything with this pregnancy has been progressing normally. Like I said, I haven't been having a lot of symptoms. I haven't been peeing more. I haven't had any morning sickness, anything like that. I know in the beginning of the pregnancy, I usually love sweet stuff. I love, you know, cakes, cookies, donuts, everything like that, ice cream, you name it. But in the very beginning of the pregnancy, I was craving savory things more. I wanted like a cheeseburger with grilled onions for some reason. And if I ate something sweet, it wasn't like I wanted to continue eating it. It was 1 or 2 bites and I was done. That unfortunately has gone away, and I crave sweets again. So cravings have gone away. I'm not craving anything specifically. I haven't had any morning sickness, anything like that. No, any like slight nausea. The first trimester, my chest was really sore. That was kind of experience. Also, they grew probably about half a cup size to a cup size. So that kind of happened during the first trimester as well. I am actually, as of today, 15 weeks, so I am kind of slowly progressing into the second trimester. Currently, as of today, I am 15 weeks, so I'm kind of easing into the second trimester, and I currently don't have any type of second trimester symptoms. No heartburn, anything like that. Still no nausea. I feel like I'm peeing more, but I think it's only because I'm trying to drink a lot of water and keep my water intake up. So far, we have had 3 doctor's visits, and all of them totally normal, totally okay. One symptom that I have thought of was I actually started bleeding a little bit and spotting, but that was only after I worked out, which can be totally normal if you start a regime that your body isn't used to and it's a little tough. Also, kind of like the increased blood flow to everywhere, that you're prone to bleed more if you kind of do, you know, hopping exercises or anything like that. So I did spot a little bit after exercising. I do feel like I've been a little bit more tired lately. I know usually I'm still pretty awake when it comes to 9:30, 10 o'clock, but lately it starts to get around 8:30 and I'm super tired and I just want to lay down. My back has been hurting a little bit more. If I sit in a chair for long periods of time, my back starts to hurt, so I have to get up and either lay down or kind of walk around if I'm at work. I feel like also I'm having a lot more mood swings. I cried last night for no reason. I don't know why. So yeah, that's all the symptoms I know about, like, at this moment. Like I said, I'm 15 weeks. Currently, the baby is about the size of an avocado or an apple, as my little app described. So yeah, I will show you guys my tummy now. I don't have a lot going on. I feel like you can see a little bit, but I still don't have any sort of shape going on. I know if I try to suck it in, I still have a little bit of a pooch going on down there. So yeah guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope to kind of put out some more update videos like this. I didn't want to put out one every week for my first trimester. Like I said, I wasn't having a lot of symptoms. That would be a really boring video. Like this video, if you did, please give it a big thumbs up. It helps me out a lot. If you like my channel, if you like the content that I'm putting out, please subscribe for more videos. I am being more active lately and uploading more. So yeah guys, see you all in the next one.